in modern dating, one of the biggest barriers stopping relationships is just the frequency and proximity of contact. That in 2024, we work from home a lot of the time. We don't have as big of friendship circles as we used to have. And the amount of social events, clubs and hobbies that people go to is dramatically reduced. So all this has meant that those opportunities that we used to have where we'd meet people, they just don't exist anymore. And it's left us with what? Dating apps? And the issue, well, one of the many issues I have with dating apps is that they're awful for displaying male attractiveness. That male attractiveness, it's like built on confidence, competence, emotional intelligence, humor. And how do you get that across in a fucking picture? Like, it just doesn't happen. So I think it's leading to this just isolation problem and this just distinct lack of relationships. However, there is a 10-second change that you can make that will course correct the relationships that you'll have for the rest of your life. You'll go from being this guy that sits there lonely night after night, watching as maybe some of his other friends go and have relationships and go on holidays with them and do all the things that you want to do, to being the guy that does all of that. And the only difference is this 10-second swap. And that is to go from being the guy that sits there and watches as the pretty girl slowly walks past and out of sight, to being the guy that sees her, stands up and walks over and says hi. Because that 10-second difference leads to completely different trajectories for these two men. Like, they live different lives because of this 10-second difference of what they were able to do. Of that 10 seconds of bravery changes your entire life. But I know that this is a lot harder than I'm making out, because I used to be that guy that would never approach a girl. The idea of being embarrassed in public where people could see me, of me getting blown out and rejected potentially by this girl, no, I couldn't deal with the embarrassment of that. No chance. But 10 years on, I've actually managed to get somewhat proficient at this, and I can guarantee you, the girls that I've met over the course of my life that I've had the best relationships with, they were the ones where it was this exact situation where I either saw them on the street and was just like, damn, that girl is pretty, I want to go speak to her. Or it's in a bar where I'm stood at the bar and I'm just like, once again, damn, I want to go talk to her. And these are the girls that I've met that I've had the best interactions with. So I want to break down what took me from that person that was too shy to ever speak to a girl like that to the one that has comfortably yesterday approached 10 girls and got 2 dates. So you don't want them all. But there are 3 tips that I would say are the biggest game changers for me in terms of going from being that first guy to being the happier guy that gets some success. The first tip, and that is building up to it. One of the biggest mistakes guys make is just trying to go from being stuck in their own head and not really interacting with the outside world at all and just being sort of so insular and isolated to then suddenly jumping across and just being like, oh, hi. And it just comes off clunky and weird, that it's not very natural, because you're essentially trying to be some fucking 80-year-old man running a race with Usain Bolt without stretching. You're going to pop a hip. Like, you're done. That kneecap is toast. Warming up is essential for any skill, and it is for this as well. That one of the things that I do when I'm planning on going out and speaking to people is that I'll start off by just walking down the street and smiling and making eye contact at people that come my way. That it's the simplest thing, but having that momentary interaction that, yeah, probably about over half won't even react to you. They won't even look your way. But about 30% will look your way and smile back. And it's awesome. You get to have this kind of interaction between you that is just like a moment in time where you saw each other, you smiled, and it's gone. And this will ease you in, so you're kind of calibrated to other people, that you're already in that flow of energy. I'm not a very woo-woo person, but there is something to just having an ease about you from interacting with people. And that's the first stage. But then to step it up a bit more, I get guys that I take them out to meet girls, and one of the things that I get them to do is to walk past and just be like, hi, and just keep walking. Simply put, you're walking down the street, people are coming by, and you just get hi, and people will look at you, some will laugh, they'll think you're a bit weird but funky, and it just reduces that anxiety that you can't speak to anyone else other than the people that you know. And if you do this over and over again, you just become more comfortable, and it breaks through that barrier because it also reduces the fear. So what if someone doesn't say hi back to you or doesn't smile back at you? No one's even really seen that. So if you're concerned of like social pressures, then this is one of the best ways to get around that. It's like, you're already gone. You said hi, you've walked across, you're out of here. Nice. And you're just done. So the first step to helping to close this 10-second window is just having a bit of build-up, warming up, being fresh. The second thing that I would advise guys to do is to remove the pressure that they put on themselves. And I think I blame TV and movies a little bit for this, but guys get stuck in their own head that, oh my God, there's a pretty girl. I need to come up with something witty and smart and funny, and I need to come across amazing, and then maybe she'll talk to me. It needs to be this opening line that summarizes everything of what I am. No, it doesn't. And when you put that pressure on yourself, all it does is create this scenario, which I know I've lived, and potentially you have too, where I've seen a girl on the train, whatever, at the supermarket, and it's like, oh, I'd love to speak to her. But what should I say? What should I say? What should I say? I'm there thinking. And if I'm in like a bar, it'd be like, I'm still thinking about what I'm going to say to this girl. And she's already talking to someone else, a guy that actually went over and was just willing to say hi. Because that is what it takes. And this is what I do. When I speak to a girl, when I go over, I literally just walk over and be like, hi. Because the thing is, everyone really knows how to respond to that. The answer is hi. So then the conversation is already flowing. When you go over and just be like, hi, oh my God, I love your handbag, it's so pretty, what are you doing today? They're just like, what the fuck was that? And they're never going to respond that well. The best way that you can just go over is just being like, hi. Occasionally, I'll throw in something contextual as well to the situation, or even a compliment if I'm going across. But the moment that you try and do something elaborate, what that also communicates is, I wouldn't be able to get you to speak to me unless I come up with this magnificent thing to engage your attention. When you go in with just something as simple and easy as hi, well, you see each other as peers. That's all you are. You're equals. It's not, I need to sell you on speaking to me. It's like, I'm inviting you, if you would like, to have a conversation with me. And we'll see where it goes from there, which is a much more powerful and effective way, rather than just being like, I need something brilliant, otherwise I'm not going to speak to her because she won't like me, which is simply put, dumb. I think yesterday I went out and I spoke to some girls. I think I spoke to 8 girls and got 2 dates, so can't win them all, but did okay. And one of the groups that I went over, I just said what was true in the moment, because here's another tip. It's very, very rare that anything would be more attractive than the truth. That when you go over and just be like, oh, what is the time? She's going to look at you like you're a dickhead. Like, you're a dickhead because everyone has a phone. Of course you know the time. And all you're saying is, I'm going to lie to you to get you to like me, which is super dumb. Just real dumb, which is not good. So I'll go over, I'll chat to them, maybe I'll give a compliment. Or one of the things I said yesterday was because I was in a market square and I was sat on a bench and there was a bunch of pigeons fucking about above me, and I went over to a girl. I was like, hi, I've come over to talk to you because I'm kind of concerned that these pigeons are going to shit on me. And they laughed and thought it was funny, but it was just something simple and contextual to the situation. And it was the truth. I was genuinely like, I do not want this just like landing straight in my face. So going with something as simple as hi is fine, or just whatever the truth is of the situation. Thirdly, maybe you know all you need to do is say hi, and maybe you've warmed up a little bit, but you're still not going over. You're still kind of just frozen in your spot. Well, this is the third thing that I do. I call it, just start moving your legs. Just start moving forward, because the action of moving forward will shift your perception in your mind that whilst you're sat there, you're dealing with all the anticipation. It's like it's bubbling up through your body and getting stuck in your head of all the things that could go wrong, could happen. And a way that a similar comparison I have for this is that I'm a bit of a bitch when it comes to roller coasters. I don't really like them, but all of the fear, it's in waiting in the queue. It's in sitting down. As soon as the roller coaster's going, I'm kind of chill about it, because like you're just in the moment. You're just like, fuck it, we've got to deal with this. Oh my God, stuff's going everywhere, all that kind of thing. But your mindset has changed. All the fear is in the anticipation. So what I do to myself sometimes, if I see a pretty girl, before I've even made the conscious decision to speak to her, I've just started my legs moving, because then that's shifted how my head is thinking about the situation from, oh, do I, don't I, what if this, what if that, to just, okay, we're going over. So one of the best things you can do, start your legs moving. And those are my 3 tips to try and close this 10-second window, which has an immense effect on your life. Like, the difference between being the guy that can do this and can engage versus being the guy that doesn't meet any girls, relies on fucking Tinder to meet girls, which, good luck with that. He has such a different outcome in his life. He has the relationships with the girls that he wants to have, and he meets the ones that are good for him. Adopt these 3 little habits and adjustments. I guarantee those 10 seconds will change your life.